In this video, I'm going to go over the passing concepts that West Virginia commonly ran against Iowa State in their big win this past weekend, and also talk a little bit about Oklahoma State's defense and what they can do against that. This is one of the most commonly ran passing combinations that we used against Iowa State. It's a hitch-out concept where the inside receivers run little hitch routes right here, and then the outside receivers, they run out routes. This does a great job of putting defenders, having them make a decision between the two. It's a vertical flood on each side. In this case, they're running that cover 3, which is particularly why we like to run this, because Iowa State loves that cover 3 zone out of their 3-3-5 defense. So in this case, these corners, they drop back in that cover 3, and so does the middle field free safety. And then that leaves the flat defender, and they go to this side here. So this guy drops down in the flats. And what that does is it forces him to make a decision between the hitch route down here and the out route. So, and because he's in the flats, he almost always takes the hitch route. And when he does that, it opens up the space behind him for the out route, because he's between the flat defender and the corner, playing that deep third of the zone. So it's a great spot to attack in that cover 3. It was a great game plan, and it worked really well in this game. And this is one of the first examples of that play, so I'll play it here. As you can see, cover 3, these guys drop back. They actually bring some pressure up the middle, and Tony Mathis does a really nice job in the 6-man protection, chopping down the D tackle to give Daggy time here. There's the hitch routes, but he hits the out route here. See this flat defender? He jumps the hitch route, corner drops back, wide open hole right there. We abuse this a lot this game, and I'll show you more examples. Same concept here for West Virginia. This time Iowa State's dropping back into a cover 3 sink where they only rush their 3 down linemen, but the route formation, it works the exact same. You got 2 hitch routes right here. These out routes, the same space opens up because it's putting the defenders that shift into this space into a tough position here, and this guy right here. So this corner, he drops back, and they're going to decide between the hitch and the out route. They're having problems covering this all game, and it works the same way. They throw to the field side here to Esdale, top your screen. So I'll show that here. And this time, Letty Brown releases right here in the middle of the field. There's a hitch, there's an out, there's the hitch. He's caught right there because he has to come over here to respect the hitch route. He doesn't have time to get over there for the out route, and he's dropped too far back. He can't quite get there in time, and Esdale does a nice job making sure to get the first down right there. This time we're running out of 5 wide. Daggy's looking over here. We got the hitch and the out, except this time that third outside receiver, he's just going to run straight down the field on a fade, or maybe he turns it up for a post. We don't really see. But either way, it's a 3-level read: hitch, out, fade. And in this case, we actually really use Iowa State's defense against them, because these guys are playing outside leverage. You'll see when the ball is snapped that their feet, they're really making sure to defend the insides, which works really well when they give us that much cushion. It's a free 8 yards here for Winston Wright. He actually cuts this thing up a little earlier, and that it's just absolutely free yardage when you're playing outside leverage with it. You can see when the ball is snapped that their feet, they're ready to work it inside, and Winston Wright just goes outside for free yards. And on the back side of the play, we got an out route and a fade. Diggy's not looking there unless things go south over here, but he does have one-on-one with this linebacker. Here's the play now. I'm gonna run it. As you can see, look at the defender's feet here. Look how they're shaded inside, and that just gives so much free yardage to Winston right here, and that's an easy completion here late in the game. We've been hitting out routes all game, so what do we do on this play? We go out and up. It gives Bryce Corbett a step and a half on this cornerback because he really sells this out route, and this time he really bites down on it, which gives him a lot of room for Diggy to make a play down the sideline. But watch Winston Wright. He works his way to the middle of the field, which draws this safety down. You can't really see it from the angle of the camera, but he draws him towards the middle of the field, which gives Daggy enough time to make this play barely. And we got Letty Brown and TJ Banks. They go to the flats to occupy defenders. So I'll play it here for you guys. You can see Winston Wright working towards the middle of the field. He sells the out route, 2 steps, and then boom, cuts it up. That gives him beautiful separation on that defender. This guy can't get there in time because he was stepping down to stop Winston Wright, excuse me. And Bryce Corbett makes a fantastic catch, which he's done all game. This is simple verticals concept that we ran against Iowa State. In this case, they're in cover 4 with their 2 outside corners playing man coverage on those outside receivers. And what we do is we run 4 vertical routes, but they're spaced out as much as possible down the field. Inside slot guy, that's Sam James. He works his way down the field. Other slot, he runs back behind him, and then outside receivers, they both run fades. This creates 4 vertical routes, except they do a great job spreading them out as much as possible by going inside, creating one-on-one matchups wherever you can get them. Because you want to spread out the DBs as much as physically possible by going inside and out, forcing them to make decisions, and then hitting whatever matchup that you think is best. It's the same way hitch routes and floods work down low, where you want to spread out the defense horizontally. That's what they do down the field with verticals. And it works to perfection here because Bryce Ford-Wheaton was winning one-on-one matchups down the field all day. There you go. He goes inside, he follows them, which keeps this DB occupied long enough to get the one-on-one matchup with Ford-Wheaton. This was called back for offensive pass interference, but the concept remains. I think this is something we'll see a lot this week against Oklahoma State, trying to attack their cover 3 zone that they like to run, because those verticals are going to force those 3 deep zones to pick and choose down the middle of the field, and that's where you can attack either the Sam James inside slot or Winston Wright the other slot. Make that middle guy pick and choose. I think that's a point of attack we could use on Oklahoma State. This is that critical 4th down conversion for a touchdown here in the 4th quarter. Iowa State's running a cover 2 defense, 2 deep safeties. They're dropping back. They do an excellent job executing against this. You got Winston Wright running a post down the middle of the field, working against that safety, and we have Sam James running a corner to the corner of the end zone here. He works it inside, then bounces it outside on a really nice fake to get some space. Everybody else is running just simple hitch routes. This is what we use to draw Iowa State defenders all game, and we run a little in route right here. It keeps all these defenders who are look how they're lined up right at the sticks. So when we run routes right at the sticks, they're going to step up and cover them, which leaves great opportunities down the field here. For instance, we go to Winston right here for the touchdown. There's no way this cover 2 safety is going to get the leverage to stop Winston Wright when he gets that much of a cushion, and he's a cover 2 safety, so he's going over here naturally. So when Winston Wright, he cuts inside, he has 0 chance at this. This is an excellent play call against the too high look, and I'll show it here. Look how every other receiver, they run hitches and ends. This keeps these guys occupied, so you have one-on-one with these safeties. And look at his leverage. This is cover 2, so he's dropping back. Look at his feet. He's going back this way. There's 0 chance he gets the Winston right there. The ball's actually behind him, but he still has plenty of room to catch it. I mean, there is 0 chance that safety gets there. It's a beautiful play call and execution. And Winston Wright is the go-to guy in these kind of situations, as always. This is one of my favorite route concepts in college football, and West Virginia runs it here. They run it to the boundary side, which is pretty typical for this kind of thing. So what they do is they send Letty Brown out of the backfield, they run him on a wheel, and then they run Bryce Ford-Wheaton on a post. And then they send TJ Banks, your connected tight, and they send him on a drag. And then the far receiver, he either runs, usually in these situations, he runs a dig to create a 3-level read down the middle of the field. You go drag, then you go in, and then you go post. But we didn't really see what happened. It could have been an in, or it could have been just a fade. Probably something like that working down. But this is really what you want to focus on, this 3-play read. In this case, we actually hit TJ Banks on the drag, because what this does is you send the wheel, you send the post, it pulls these defenders away from that play, and then TJ Banks comes down underneath and gets easy space because of how backed up they are from the post and the wheel. But what this does late in the play, which didn't happen here, is the post and the wheel, it puts the safety in a really tough position where if you shade inside for the post, they go outside to the wheel. If you cover the wheel, they go inside of the post, because you're going to have that leverage on the middle safety. And it is a fantastic concept to attack this kind of defense with the cover 3. I'll show the play here. They send action with Winston right this way. You got the wheel route and the drag, and then you got the post. Look how far back these defenders are, because they're worried about these routes, which opens up plenty of space for an easy throw to TJ Banks. And he actually does a really nice job getting some extra yards there for almost a first down. This is a slot fade that we used against Iowa State's man coverage. They're bringing a little pressure up front. They're showing pressure, and they got one high safety cover 1 man. And once Diggy sees this, he almost knows he's going to Winston Wright, because he's matched up on a safety one-on-one. He's going to get outside leverage on this slot fade, and Winston Wright is our best guy in one-on-one. So he knows he's going there. It's just got to be a good ball. On backside of the play, we got Reese Smith, the slot, working his way to the middle of the field, and we got a fade here and a little curl here to ISO this one-on-one route here. So I'll play it here. There it is, the cover one man. There's the pressure. He throws that thing outside leverage to the fade. That one high safety. He can't get over there in time. That's just a fantastic throw to our best one-on-one receiver. And this is particularly interesting to look at because Oklahoma State loves cover one man on third down. They almost always go to it as of recently. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Winston Wright plays against those excellent Oklahoma State DBs, especially Harvell Peel, who's probably the safety that'll be matched up on him in that game. I think it'll be great to see if they run some fades or they run some slants to him on third down. Who wins that matchup is going to be critical to that game and if we can move the ball. This is a play action RPO slant to Winston Wright. We've seen this thing a lot from West Virginia under Neil Brown, and we'll continue to see it. Winston Wright, this is Winston Wright all the way. He runs a slant right here, and Sean Ryan comes in the block if they want to run. But basically what it is it's an action to Letty Brown because you look at the time in the game, they're fully expecting a run here. Every single person crashes on that fake, which gives a wide open lane right here. It opens it up wide open for Winston Wright. And they would get a conversion because I'll show you how much space he has. Everybody comes down. Just so much space, perfectly executed up until the throw, which they got some pressure in there and batted that thing. But if he makes this throw, if he throws that thing a little higher so it doesn't get deflected, he's got space to work this right here for a first down. And if he gets by this safety, who did not have a great game, and we were picking on him all day, he would just, I mean, that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown if it's a perfect throw. It was beautifully executed up until the deflection. And we really like throwing opponents off guard by running these play actions to Winston Wright when they're fully expecting a run. And I expect this against Oklahoma State when we want to abuse that kind of situation and get Winston Wright open into some space because we ran it a lot against Oklahoma State last year.